But the fact that the ratings from Caitlin Clark's series to these series fell off a cliff, it should surprise no one.
I'm watching the Indiana Fever game. I'm just waiting on Caitlin Clark to catch the basketball.
Aya Wilson has finally spoken out, and it didn't take long for the frustration to show. Since Caitlin Clark's exit from the playoffs, WNBA viewership has fallen off a cliff, and now even the league's biggest stars are feeling it.
I'm going to go out there, and I'm going to try to be the best. I get y'all saying best player in the world. That's great. It looks great. But I want to be the best person. I want to be the best teammate.
In a recent interview, Wilson admitted something that raised eyebrows across the league. She said, "This year I've heard people call my game boring more than ever before." That comment says a lot. The moment Caitlin Clark and the Fever were eliminated, the spotlight disappeared. Fans stopped tuning in. The noise died down. What some players wanted, less pressure, fewer expectations, and less fan obsession, is exactly what they got. Silence.
Let's just say the ratings aren't the same with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever now eliminated. Game 1 of the Aces Liberty matchup on Sunday drew an average of 929,000 viewers. Was down nearly 50% from last Sunday's Fever Sun contest. By the way, not only was viewership down, but attendance was as well.
Since Clark's exit, playoff game after playoff game has seen declining viewership. The league had a chance at one of the most watched finals in WNBA history. Instead, Caitlin Clark was at home watching it all unfold. And honestly, she's probably shaking her head at what could have been.
All I gotta say is she's lucky this UConn team isn't healthy. And that's a true statement.
That's wrong, Molly.
Monica?
That's wrong, Molly. Molly,
like
it's
five
excuses.
top players,
It's
am I
excuses,
right?
Molly. It's
Major
excuses.
injuries.
You would not be saying that if it wasn't UConn.
Major stars not playing.
Listen,
Gotta
excuse me,
go.
it's her against Caitlin Clark.
Stephen A.
Ain't no excuses.
Stephen
You
A.
got there.
Wait a
No,
minute.
want to hear that now.
Stephen A.
Let me tell you, if
Paige
Georgetown get
Beckers-
back in the mix, I'm going to be insufferable. I'm just telling you that now.
What?
If Paige Beckers didn't basically miss 2 seasons, I don't know if we'd be talking
Come on
about
now.
Caitlin Clark the way we are.
Now we're staring at a New York Liberty versus Minnesota Lynx finals, and let's be real, most casual fans can't even name a single player on either roster. Early projections already suggest this could be the lowest viewed finals in recent playoff history. That raises a serious question. How did the WNBA let this happen?
The reason 12 million people are watching ESPN
Yeah.
for a game, if that game was on CBS, they probably would have had 25, 30 million people watching that.
The truth is uncomfortable, but it's obvious. The WNBA is lost without Caitlin Clark. The league spent months denying the Caitlin Clark effect, claiming it wasn't real. Now they're watching the proof play out in real time. Empty hype, falling ratings, vanishing attention. Without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA has slipped right back into being invisible, and fans are noticing.
Looks like we're not going to be seeing Caitlin Clark play basketball again for another 200 days. An ESPN reporter said at the end of the Indiana Fever Connecticut Sun Game 2 that Caitlin Clark almost definitely will not be playing basketball this offseason. So no overseas and no 3-on-3 unrivaled.
Aya Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces were dominant all season. Entering the playoffs, they were clear championship favorites, and with Wilson leading the way, most fans expected a finals appearance. But the semifinal series against the New York Liberty flipped everything. The Liberty came out aggressive, executed perfectly, and shocked the league by eliminating the Aces. That loss didn't just end a title run. It removed one of the WNBA's biggest stars from the playoff spotlight, instantly draining excitement from the postseason.
Caitlin Clark's the most valuable, most important person in the WNBA this year, and should have been unanimous rookie.
A unanimous MVP comes with massive expectations. Fans assume that player will carry their team deep into the playoffs, if not all the way to a championship. When Aya Wilson and the Aces were eliminated early, the league lost a major storyline. Wilson was supposed to be the face of the finals, the star everyone tuned in to watch. Instead, she was gone before the biggest stage, leaving the playoffs without a central figure.
Disrespectful, but they talked a lot of trash and they got humbled. And I think that that's okay. That is sports. That is what we live for in sports.
Caitlin Clark is different. She doesn't just play the game, she commands attention. Her range, confidence, and ability to take over moments make her must-watch basketball. When the Indiana Fever were eliminated by the Connecticut Sun, the playoffs instantly lost their edge. The intensity dropped. The buzz disappeared. Without Clark, the games felt slower, flatter, and far less exciting for a large portion of the audience.
And to act like there isn't or hasn't been legitimate resentment emanating from those who are pioneers. Nobody's fooled here. You got pundits who used to play in the WNBA, some of them who didn't, and who were speaking on behalf of those who didn't want to create that kind of noise themselves because of the negative impact. We talk about it when the men do it. If we detect jealousy, if we detect envy, if we detect resentment, and it's amongst the fellas, we put it out there. Shit, we act like it's the latest episode of General Hospital. But when the ladies are feeling that way about another young lady like Caitlin Clark, and people like myself and Shay Shay call it out, suddenly it's a problem.
Caitlin Clark's absence wasn't just the loss of one player. It was the loss of an entire experience. She brings skill, charisma, and a level of drama that pulls in both hardcore fans and casual viewers. Once she was gone, that energy vanished. The playoffs, which should be the peak of the season, turned into something many fans described as dull, lifeless, and disappointing. For the WNBA, that was a massive blow.
Ever since, Angel Reese had that injury, to me, and also coming off of Olympic break, Caitlin Clark separated herself. Yeah. She should have been unanimous. Now, to celebrate her, one thing that people forget is as a rookie, she was the most blitzed player in the WNBA, and she still put up 19, 5, and 8 assists.
After Caitlin Clark's exit, the WNBA saw one of the sharpest drops in playoff viewership in league history. The decline wasn't slow. It was immediate. Ratings fell off a cliff the moment she was eliminated. And that matters. Viewership drives sponsorships, TV deals, advertising revenue, and long-term growth. When fans stop watching, the league feels it everywhere. Clark isn't just a star. She's a phenomenon. Her presence makes every game feel important. Fans tune in for the logo threes, the clutch moments, and the confidence she brings to the court. Without her, many viewers simply lost interest. The numbers prove it. While multiple factors can affect ratings, it's clear Caitlin Clark's absence was the biggest reason the playoffs lost momentum. If the league doesn't find a way to maintain engagement beyond its biggest stars, this drop could have lasting consequences.
Impressive for Caitlin to win Rookie of the Year in a dominant fashion when it is going to be one of the great rookie classes in the history.
Once she was eliminated, that pull vanished. Fans who had been following Caitlin Clark's playoff run suddenly had no reason to keep watching. Other players, while skilled and competitive, didn't carry the same level of star power to hold the audience. The WNBA thrives on its biggest names, and Caitlin Clark is one of the biggest. Without her on the floor, the playoffs lost a massive share of their viewers.
The Fever on a great season. I don't think anybody expected them to make the playoffs after starting 1-8. They had a tremendous second half of the season. That Olympic break was much needed. But Caitlin Clark, she just completely changed around the WNBA culture, and she completely changed around the Indiana Fever's culture for the future. And the future is bright for the Indiana Fever. And I'm so happy that Caitlin Clark came into the WNBA light, and fans get to actually watch her and see what.
Caitlin Clark isn't just one of the best players in the WNBA. She is the face of the league. Her ability to attract viewers is unmatched, and she has become the centerpiece of the WNBA's push to grow its audience. When people think about the league, Clark is often the first name that comes to mind. Her playing style is exactly what fans want to see. Deep threes, fearless drives, creative passes, and non-stop intensity. Every game she plays feels like an event. The moment the Indiana Fever, led by Clark, were eliminated by the Connecticut Sun, everything changed. That game marked a clear turning point in the playoffs. Up until then, viewership was strong and consistent. Once Clark was gone, ratings dropped quickly. For fans, it wasn't just about the Fever being eliminated. It was about losing the chance to watch Caitlin Clark's playoff journey continue. She was the main attraction, and once she was out, many fans tuned out with her.
Basketball has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career because it ended so fast. I feel like taking some time to myself and really enjoying that and reflecting back.
The viewership collapse that followed was unlike anything the league had seen before. The WNBA had been enjoying some of its strongest playoff ratings in years, but without Clark, those numbers took a sharp dive. Fans simply weren't as interested in the remaining games. The momentum the league had built all season came to a sudden stop. The situation became even worse after both Caitlin Clark and Aya Wilson were eliminated. Losing two of the league's biggest stars had a devastating effect. The WNBA reportedly lost nearly half of its audience after their exits. That kind of drop is unprecedented and highlights just how much the league depends on its star players to keep fans engaged.
From being one of the most loved teams in the WNBA to being riddled with so much drama this season. A'ja Wilson was under fire last week for the privilege comment that she made to Kelsey Plum. And Coach Becky Hammon was under fire for basically saying that her team was too busy being celebrities and they were distracted and that's why they're not winning games. The list goes on and on. If you're this Aces team, you really need to regroup and maybe make some tough decisions about the future of this.
The WNBA finals are meant to be the highlight of the entire season, the moment when attention peaks and viewership reaches its highest point. Instead, this year's finals are shaping up to be among the least watched in league history. With Caitlin Clark no longer in the picture, fan excitement has noticeably faded. What the league hoped would be a blockbuster ending has turned into a quiet and underwhelming conclusion. This is a serious problem. The finals should be the crown jewel of the season, but without its biggest star, the energy just isn't there. Fans are less invested, and the expected ratings reflect that reality.
You guys were right. That's what we're saying. You
No,
were right.
Molly, you did not say that, Molly. No,
saying
no,
it.
That is
no.
what you said.
You
That's
did
what
not.
you
That's
said.
not what you said, Molly.
What are you guys
That is not what.
Despite her massive contributions, Caitlin Clark hasn't always been treated fairly. Fans have often been overly harsh, and referees have made questionable calls that directly impacted her performances. For a player who has done so much to elevate the league, this treatment is disappointing to see. The WNBA must recognize her true value and make sure she receives the respect and fairness she has clearly earned.
To me, that's not dominating.
Even though Caitlin Clark is now out of the playoffs, fans are already counting down to her return next season. The excitement surrounding her comeback is undeniable, and the league knows that when she steps back on the court, viewership will rise once again. Her absence has been felt across the entire WNBA, but the buzz for her next
is on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie, targeted by society, targeted by her looks, targeted by her reputation.
Season continues to grow. Caitlin Clark's return isn't just important for the fans, it's crucial for the league itself. Her comeback is shaping up to be one of the most anticipated moments in WNBA history. Fans can't wait to see her back in action, leading her team, making incredible plays, and bringing energy back to the game. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. More videos are on your screen right now.